Hello everyone, I'm Tommy Noonan. I'm today's host on CC8 Sports Central for Curry College Talks. Today I am lucky enough to be speaking with Coach Kelly Ryder of the women's ice hockey program here at Curry College. It's a pleasure having you here today, Kelly. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Tommy. I'm excited to be here, and it's awesome to actually be in a room. Even if I can't sit next to you, it's great to be in a room with another person here at Curry.
So I'm just going to kind of talk to you about what's going on in the upcoming season, what you have planned, a couple of the girls on the team, and what you guys are looking forward to. I'd like to start about kind of getting to know a little bit more about yourself. I've been doing research on you, and I have figured out that you have coached at Wisconsin, you've coached at Dexter Southfield, which happens to be right down the street, you've coached in Canton High School, which is also very close. But where are you from, and where have you kind of rooted yourself probably growing up playing hockey?
So I'm originally from outside of Albany, New York. That's where my parents are still. So about 2.5 hours from here, which is super nice. I played both boys and girls hockey all through high school. And then I went to Quinnipiac, where I played Division I hockey for 4 years. And kind of where I fell in love with Boston is I went to BU for grad school. And I lived in the city right in Kenmore Square for 4 years. So I'm really excited to kind of be back in the area, and this is really my second home.
Awesome. Being somebody who has grown up playing hockey, who has loved the sport and the lifestyle mainly, I know that it's hard to probably find some free time in your schedule, and as a coach of a college hockey team, you probably don't have much free time, but if you do get a free day or a free weekend, what do you like to spend your time doing?
Free time is definitely hard to come by, especially with a new program. But one of the things that I've loved being here is I actually had a free day, I think it was in August, and I just shot down to the Cape and kind of sat on the beach for a couple hours and then came back, and that's always been a spot that my family has traveled to and vacationed at, so it's just really nice to be able to get to the Cape or head down to Fenway or things like that. So.
Yeah, awesome. Where in the Cape are you usually staying?
Usually we stay in West Harwich.
Nice, that's a nice little area of the Cape.
Yep.
So leading into sports, and obviously we're talking about hockey here, the women's team, I would guess as a athlete that you'd probably have a bunch of sports inspirations, maybe specific people who you looked up to throughout your sports careers. Is there anybody in particular who is kind of an idol or an inspiration for yourself?
So my favorite player, he's now retired, is Patrick Sharp. So I feel like anybody watching this, if I don't mention that, they're gonna make fun of me. So Patrick Sharp has always been my favorite player. But as far as kind of inspirations, athletically or as a coach, my parents are both teachers. My dad's a retired coach. So I've kind of been teaching or coaching my whole life. And then kind of a funny story, I think that brings it all back into Boston is I watched Brad Stevens coach his Butler team to the NCAA Final Four, and I just kind of said, that's a guy I need to meet, and I reached out to him. I had a long phone call. I actually went out to Indianapolis and spent some time there and got to meet him. He showed me the facilities. So when he came back and was in the Celtics organization, it was kind of cool that he was here. And then Jerry York, while I was in grad school, was really helpful. Let me come and watch practice whenever I wanted, gave me practice plans, would chat with me afterwards. So those are kind of two big coaches that come to mind that I've been able to kind of interact with and are both in the Boston area.
Awesome. Kind of segueing into more of the Curry side of things and the actual school portion of this talk, what drew you to Curry College as a coach, and what was kind of the first thing that you noticed, maybe not so much relating to hockey, but relating to the school, the people in the school? What did you like, and why did it kind of draw you here?
When the news release came out that Curry was adding women's hockey, I honestly felt like this position was like made for me, or we were made for each other. Boston is where I want to be. I'm close to family. It's a very strong hockey program here already. TJ left a great legacy, and now with Coach Pete Roundy, he is already doing a great job with bringing guys in and bringing the team together. Obviously, our athletic director, Vinny Ruzioni, is a big hockey guy. So just the support internally for hockey is huge and is a big draw, and just even the support from the facilities of the Canton Ice House, the locker room that's built there. And I always drove by Curry during grad school when I was working at Canton High School, but I never actually saw the campus. But when I kind of checked out campus, it kind of reminded me almost of a mini Quinnipiac where I went. So there really was nothing that like wasn't checked off my boxes, and it just seemed like a perfect fit.
Nice. In relation to the team and the season this upcoming year, what are you guys? What's the main goal as a unit, as everybody together? Is there anything that everybody's striving towards? I'd imagine that a championship is probably the main goal here, but what's kind of maybe a short-term goal would be something better to talk about. Are there any short-term goals?
The biggest, I guess, would be short-term and long-term goals that we would have is just building our winning culture, especially since we're a new program. We get to lay the foundation for that. We get to set traditions, like even down to, what are we going to do on pregame, or what are we going to have on our pregame music. So we're really focused on our culture. We kind of have 3 Ps within our program: passion, pride, and purpose. So we try to do everything on the ice, in the classroom, the community, with those 3 Ps in mind. We have a sister program where every player in our team is matched up with another player to kind of pump them up, also hold them accountable, and just be a resource for them. So we're really focused on developing those relationships and those bonds, and building our strong culture, so that winning culture can also result to winning on the scoreboard.
Of course. Kind of leading into more of team talk, I understand that from the looks of your roster, it seems that the team is, at least for states and country-wise, everybody's coming from, well, there is a large majority of girls coming from far, girls that are close. What's the furthest traveling player you guys have on the roster this year?
I'd have to check the mileage. If anybody that's watching this follows our team accounts, I know that we actually put up some mileage before the team moved into campus. But we have a player from California, we have a player from Florida, we've got a player from Saskatchewan, so I would assume it'd be one of those 3 that's the furthest away from a mileage standpoint.
Okay. Being so close to the city, you've talked about you kind of grew up kind of living the college lifestyle through Boston, and plenty of people understand with people our age, the city's a great place to have fun, and there's loads of activities to do in the city, there's great sports, it's just a great city. With the girls being so close to Boston now, and them, say, one of the California girls or the girls from one of the Canadian girls, do you see these girls utilizing Boston as an outlet, or them going to have fun in the city on weekends per se?
I know they've already been to Red Sox games, Patriots games, they've hiked Blue Hills, they've been downtown to walk around, so I know that was a big draw for them, and coming to Curry and committing to Curry. And I know that even within their first couple of days that they took advantage of that, or some of them came to move in like a week early and then spent like a week just exploring Boston before they moved to campus. So I know they're really excited to be here.
Yeah, it's a great spot for college kids and kids our age. Something, I had actually found a quote from something that you had said in an article, and I really, really liked the quote. I was drawn to it because it kind of tells you the person that you are and what you're looking to do with the team, and how you're trying to become like very established with the girls on the team and make a solid team foundation. You had said, "I chose to coach D3 because it allows me to get to know my players as people, not just hockey players." Do you feel so far that you've gotten to know your players on your team pretty well?
Surprisingly, yes. I say surprisingly, just it's a new program, and obviously with the pandemic, there's been a lot of challenges as far as not seeing players as much in the rinks, or connecting with them face-to-face. Some of our players I had actually never been able to connect with face-to-face. I had watched them play prior in person and then connected, virtually through last year's recruiting process. But I work some of our game management for our soccer team, our women's soccer team here, and most of our players, work the sidelines, and I don't know, it was 1 or 2 weeks into campus, into the school year, and it kind of already felt like we had been a team together for years already. The team did a great job over the summer of getting to know each other, and it kind of already feels like this is not our inaugural season, that we're just going into the next season. So it's been really nice to get to know our players on kind of an individual basis and know them as people, as humans, and not just hockey players.
It's how you build a strong team. It sounds like you guys are doing the right thing. It might be too early to tell, but I figured with the season coming up in October, late October is the start of the season, Is there any people or any teams that you're looking like is going to be a great matchup or possibly even a rival?
I think Suffolk, just with like the proximity to our school, could potentially be one.
Okay.
I know just within the CCC, Curry and Endicott are usually rivals. But that's part of I guess, the exciting part of a new team. You never really know who's going to be your rival. At my previous institution at Northland College, our team ended up having this kind of interesting rivalry with Adrian College, and that's not some team or a school that you would kind of predict. So it's kind of nice and exciting to see how that all plays out. But I would think Suffolk, or potentially if we get to play UMass Boston, just with the proximity to our school, could be a big rival. And I know it's always a big rival between Curry and Endicott for sure.
And like I had briefly spoken about earlier, and I wish I could have congratulated you earlier, you guys have obviously just became an official NCAA Division III women's college sports team, which is awesome. And that's great for the Curry program. That's great for Curry as a whole. How do you feel overall going into this season as a new NCAA Division III college hockey team?
I feel pretty good about it. I think every single team, whether you're new or returning, it's just a different year just because of COVID and teams not playing. So there might be some mistakes that teams don't normally make. You can't really predict what your opponent's going to be like from maybe previous game film that's now 2 years old. But I think we're going to be pretty solid. We're really happy and excited about the players that we were able to get to come to Curry, and I know they've been skating together on their own and they're working hard, and we're excited to get to work.
Yeah. So officially, this will be your 5th year coaching NCAA Division III women's hockey. Is there anything that you're excited about specifically relating to this season rather than your past seasons?
Well, first, it's kind of sometimes hard to figure out how many seasons I've been coaching D3 now that this is my second new program. So it's been about a decade of coaching D3. Sometimes without a team, you're just recruiting. But I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is just going through this pandemic. There's a greater appreciation for all those little moments, and just being together as a team. Or we're all facing obstacles, every team in the country right now, every team in the world, of getting equipment on time and all those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, we're just really happy and excited and grateful that we can all be together in one place and get on the ice and practice together, even if that means that we're all wearing masks and we're getting tested, but just to be all together and to play. And as a new program, all of our players are also freshmen. So they are all coming off of virtual learning for potentially the last year, 2 years, missing out on big monumental life moments as juniors and seniors in high school. So I think they all have an extra grittiness to them, and also that extra appreciation to just be together and get going. So just to be all together on the ice is that's my next biggest thing I'm looking forward to. It was getting them all to campus and having everybody finally in one place at one time, but now that we've kind of accomplished that, the next thing is just to get on the ice all together for sure.
Well, hey, thank you so much for coming in today. It was great having you. I couldn't be more excited to have you in here speaking about the season coming up and the new exploration with Curry College Division III NCAA women's hockey program. Again, Kelly Ryder, thank you. It was awesome having you.
Thanks, Tommy. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that we gained another fan today.
Oh, yeah. And now we're going to play some clips showing the women's hockey team moving into their dorms, playing in sports tournaments, and kind of just getting acquainted with the campus.